Hello, I'm Jessie Cave and I'm on FrConventions. Yeah, I had done an audition for Harry Potter, so I didn't audition with the thousands of the open calls. So I did private auditions because I had an agent and I was already an actress. But at the same time, it was like being plucked because once they announced they were doing the open auditions, I had already had 2 auditions. So I was like, well, obviously I'm not going to get it they're like, no, she's so awful, we're going to see thousands more people to check that she's, so I knew I wouldn't get it. And then some random, fate meant that they called me and said I had a screen test and 5 other girls were having a screen test too with the Rupert. And it was just very lucky because I think we had quite good chemistry and we really found each other funny, and I think meeting Rupert was the reason I got the job because we just automatically had a vibe. And I don't think if I'd had that screen test I would have got the job. I loved the Harry Potter books. It was really amazing timing because the Order of the Phoenix had just come out in cinemas a few months before the first audition for Harry Potter for me. So it meant that it was very exciting because there was a film out, a book out, I was auditioning. It was amazing, really, the timing, and that's really rare. She's not like the most embellished character ever, but what you do is she's quite memorable. You remember her presence and you remember how much she just adored Ron, and she wasn't pretentious about it. She just kind of was, I like you, why don't you love me back? And I quite like that honesty, and I just remember thinking when I read her that she seemed to be kind, even though she was seemingly quite annoying and stuff. She seemed to be a kind, young, innocent girl who's just got a big crush. Yeah, I think it was cool to see Ron in a different light. So Ron suddenly was being fancied by somebody and being kind of bossed around by a girl, and I think it was so cool because it showed Hermione that no, he is cool, and actually you can now lose him. So I think Lavender's quite a good catalyst for Ron's development and Ron's eventual relationship with Hermione, and I think Lavender was quite important in that, I like to think. It's amazing because it's now been like 15 years since I filmed it, and I guess for the first 5 to 10 years after, I did know it was a big deal, but I didn't really understand until my children are now at the age where they're the prime age. My oldest 2 are 7 and 9, and they go to a school, and every year there's World Book Day, and everyone dresses up, and 90% of the children dress up as Harry Potter or Hermione or Ron. 90%. Like, I go into their school and suddenly people are so excited that I was in Harry Potter because they're just, it's just so cool that that's now part of my life, and I get to be excited through my children again about Harry Potter, and I'm really grateful for that. Yeah, it's so surreal to see everybody again. I've seen Devon over the years a lot, and Alfie a lot, but the rest of them have not seen since I was 21. So that's crazy. And you just slip back into your roles, and it's quite amazing to kind of have a flashback to that when you were that age. For me, I was not in it as much as them, so I just came in and then left. But I really get the sense with the others who grew up on the set. They lived their childhood on the set. I can see their bonds, and I can't imagine how huge that moment was when they stopped. I don't know. I think it's difficult to judge because you don't know how, that you could argue that there was this big West End show in the UK and that was another version of it, and there's always going to be something to do with Harry Potter. So I think be grateful that you get to be a part of it and honour the history of it. And yeah, it'll be so interesting to see what it turns out like. No, I don't. I think the movie industry is still pretty stupid. And I think for young women out there, I don't think it's that much kinder now than it was when I was in my early 20s, where I felt like if I wasn't extremely thin, I would never get a job. And to be honest, I don't think it's that different now. So no, it's sad, but it's true. My first novel is a book about two sisters and a terrible accident. My brother died in a terrible accident 5 years ago. And after he died, I was given this opportunity to write a book, and they said I could write whatever I wanted. And at the time, I was so terrified of when somebody dies that you love, you suddenly realize that everyone can die and that there's nothing you can do. And so I used that opportunity to write about my sister and our relationship because I realized how important that sibling bond was. I knew it before, but it was only losing a sibling, not another, my God. That made me realize how much I valued our relationship, and I wanted to honor that by writing about sisterhood in honor of my brother. And it's a really sad book, and I can't really look at it now, but I'm so glad I did that because so many people have lost siblings, and it's not really a type of grief that's talked about very much because it's unusual, it's rare, and it's not really around. So I really hope that it's helped some people. Yeah, I do comedy a lot, and I'm doing a new show this year. I find performing on stage more satisfying for me because it's immediate. So I can get 40, 50 people into a room and just talk for a little bit and hopefully be funny, and it's very satisfying, that. And I feel very grateful that I've got to do experiences like Harry Potter where, there's so much money involved, not me getting paid personally, but like everything costs so much money. But it's quite nice to do things that are kind of quite pure and the opposite of that, and that's what I've tried to spend my career doing. Obviously, it'd be nice to do a big movie again at some point, but it's been really nice to do little comedy stuff, and yeah, I'm doing that again this year.